What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more punk rock, and we're back with some more Bad Religion. We're going to go back to their Process of Belief album. Reacted to a couple songs from this recently. This is a 2002 album. It was the first album where Brett had come back to the band and where the band had gravitated back to Epitaph Records. Big fan of this album, like in part because of Brett coming back, and it's interesting to mention that because this song is written by Brett. And I think this is one of the songs that was sort of mainstream popular for them. I do remember it getting some radio play, which is cool. Like, you know, some people, there's that whole like, oh, sellout thing, like whatever, if you get mainstream play, it means you must have sold out somewhere. I don't think so. And ultimately, I think a band like Bad Religion has such good and important messages that them being heard by a slightly larger audience than you typically get in like underground punk rock circles is a good thing for Earth and humanity more broadly. So yeah, but I do remember this one being very popular. This is a song called Sorrow. It's written by Mr. Brett, and it's ultimately a song that, like Generator, I think speaks to the sort of philosophical tension in his brain. I think over the years he's sort of explored this idea that, you know, it seems he was raised in a, I think Jewish maybe, but at least Judeo-Christian of some kind sort of cultural atmosphere, and I think ultimately his views as he got older and saw the brutality and, you know, corruption and death and loss in the world, I think it's made him question the sort of religious and cultural forms that he, you know, grew up around as a youth. And again, I think that tension comes out in some of his songwriting. Generator is a great example. I think I mentioned that before. But this is another great example because he's basically speaking to this Abrahamic or Judeo-Christian deity in the form of, you know, father and that sort of language. And he's basically asking, like, you know, given the omnibenevolence that you supposedly have, given your omnipotence, given your omniscient, like, divine plan, shouldn't we see less suffering? Shouldn't there be no more sorrow? And so I think it's exploring that sort of dichotomy or lack of correspondence between the ideas that he grew up being a part of and the reality, the state of affairs in the world, both of humans and more broadly on Earth. So I do think that's what the song is getting at. But again, it's another one where, you know, there's enough lines that are sort of, you know, metaphorical or allegorical that I think you could probably interpret the song a few different ways, but that's the way that I've taken it. And I always really do like that song, when all soldiers lay their weapons down and when all kings and queens relinquish their crowns, because, you know, the unlikelihood of that stands out for a number of reasons, but that's sort of the point, that only in a world where that can happen is only in that world can we actually see the sort of atmosphere and divine plan that we were always promised. So yeah, I think it's an interesting exploration of sort of religious ideas through the prism of modern day reality and through an exploration of, well, just what would we expect to see if these sort of plans were to come to fruition. So that's where I take this song. Let me know if you have a different take. Again, I think with Bad Religion, more than some other bands I listen to, I think there's a lot more room for interpretation. And again, I do think you can feel that the song was written by Brett more than Greg. It just, again, there's sort of this philosophical and religio-cultural tension in some of his songs, and I think this is a good example. So here we go. This is Bad Religion, Sorrow, from their album The Process of Belief, 2002 on Epitaph. It gets to a similar place that God's Love. I just reacted to God's Love, and I feel like there's some similar ideas here. I curse the day that I was born, and all the sorrow in this world. Everything you do, the burning ground, where all good men are trampled down, just to settle a bet that could not be won. That's right. It's almost like a modern retelling of the Book of Job. Love Greg singing, but I also like the oohs and ahs of that chorus. Bad Religion doesn't make a big deal about their solo sections. It's not like the main part of their songs, but I always do enjoy their little instrumental sections. I dig it. Is a great song. I sort of forgot that aspect of the Book of Job until I got to that line about settling a bet that could not be won. That is really interesting, and I enjoy the sort of the dialogue nature of the song, sort of building off that Book of Job, where it's, you know, this sort of conversation slash bet in terms of trying to see if, you know, someone's piety can be disturbed by causing problems in their like physical life. Nevertheless, I really do enjoy that song, and again, I think Brett's songwriting comes through very clearly in that piece, and I really do sort of enjoy the exploration of philosophical tensions in one's own brain. I've said it before, I think one should hold one's own ideas and one's own thoughts to as high, if not higher, scrutiny than those of other people if one really cares about having at least like provisionally accurate perspectives and trying to base your decisions on, you know, reality versus what we would like to be true or what, you know, feels like might be true. So yeah, I really do enjoy that song and Brett's songwriting in particular, which again is partly why I was so excited for Process of Belief, because Brett had come back to the band and they had gone back to their original home on Epitaph. So yeah, I'll always love this album. This song isn't like one of my favorites on the album, but I started thinking about it for a reason that will become clear soon. And it occurred to me, you know what, that it really is a good song, like lyrically, and I love the exploration of, you know, sort of uncertainties and thoughts about what we should expect to see if certain belief systems were true and so on. It's very interesting. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you like this one or if you like a different song on the album a great deal. Like I said, I've already reacted to a couple tunes on this, but there's obviously several more that I could react to, so do let me know if there's another one that stands out to you. Other than that, thank you for listening and watching. I do appreciate it. Have a good day, have a good night. I'll see you next time. Peace.